long time no see. It has literally been forever since I posted a video. I'm coming to you today with a summer wrap up. I haven't posted a TBR since June. I haven't posted a wrap up since May. And there's been a lot of stuff happening both with my reading and my writing. So I'm just here to give you a full-blown wrap up. That's better. Sorry, I forgot to put my ring light on. Okay, so first things first, let's do my reading wrap up. I'm gonna pull up Goodreads. I am not pulling out all the books to hold them and show you. Way too much effort. And we built new bookshelves on the weekend, so I just reorganized all my books and I do not want to move a book again. So I'm just gonna do this real quick, go through what I read and what I loved. So, starting beginning of June. Why does Goodreads have to be like that? One of my books doesn't show the start date. It only shows the finish date. Even though when I click on it, it shows the start date. Anyway, okay, so starting June 1st, I finished Here's to Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. It was a 4-star rating for me. I listened to the audiobook. Next, I feel like I already talked about this book for some reason. Did I maybe film like a vlog or something that I'm not thinking of? Anyway, We Sold Our Souls by Grady Hendrix. My partner and I listened to like 3/4 of it on our way down to Salem and DNF'd it after like 3/4, but I'm counting that as read because we sat through a lot. So I gave it 2 stars. It had some interesting plot points and stuff, and I typically like Grady Hendrix, so I gave it a 2. I finished that on the 6th. Then I read Midsummer, Rituals, Recipes, and Lore for Letha by Deborah Blake. That was on the 11th. I gave that 4 stars. I finally finished the complete handbook of novel writing by Writer's Digest Books. I was on the 16th. I gave that 4 stars. I feel like I already did a June wrap up because I have Heartstopper and everything in here. Hold the phone. Okay, I'm not sure. Maybe I filmed a TikTok with a June wrap up, but then didn't film a YouTube video. I'm gonna do it anyway. Hopefully I can figure it out in editing. Then I read Heartstopper 1. I'm not sure what happened here. I don't know if these dates are right. June 19th, I read Heartstopper 1, 5 stars, of course. I read one of my birthwork books, Nurture by Erica Chidi Cohen, 4 stars. Then I read Heartstopper 2, 3, and 4, all on the 29th of June. I also finished History Is All You Left Me on the 29th. I read another birthwork book, The Motherly Guide to Becoming Mama. That was 4 stars, finished that July 1st. I read The Names They Gave Us by Emery Lord, which had been on my TBR for years. I finished that on the 30th. Then I read Bloom, the graphic novel by Kevin Panetta. I gave that 3 stars. I read Crumbs by Danny Sterling. I gave that 3 stars. I read Queer, A Graphic History by Meg John Barker. I gave that 4 stars. I read Genderqueer, the graphic autobiography by Maya Kobebe. I gave that 5 stars. I read another birthwork, Supporting Queer Birth by AJ Silver. I gave that 5 stars. If you are into birthwork, midwifery, doula, lactation consultant, any of these types of things, that should be the handbook for queer fertility, queer birth, queer postpartum. Everyone that is a birth worker should be reading that. Then I slogged my way through The House in the Cerulean Sea, which took forever. I liked it. It was just too long. It could have been cut by like a quarter, I think, and been a better book. Gave that 3 stars. I read another birthwork book, Nurturing Beginnings, Guide to Postpartum Care for Doulas. Gave that 3 stars. I finally finished Wild Magical Soul by Monica Crossan, which I've been reading since May. I gave that 5 stars. Don't know why it took me so long to get through. And then I just finished More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera and gave that 3 stars. So June, July, and August. Today is now August 30th, so I'm not gonna finish another book today. So for June, July, and August, I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 books in 3 months. It did help that a large chunk of those were graphic novels. I usually get through a graphic novel in one day. So that definitely helped. But 21 books this summer, which feels amazing. Let's get into what doesn't feel amazing. My writing journey. I haven't written since NaNoWriMo of 2021. I have done lots of editing and revision, which of course includes some writing when you're editing. But I haven't actually sat down and written a project since November. The reason for that was because I was focusing on Project Camp. I was focusing on finishing my revisions and writing my query letter and all of that jazz, and querying. I started querying April 6th. And if you'll recall, I think my last video was about my request from one of my comp titles agents and how that was such a big deal, and I like cried and all the things. I knew that it was probably a long shot. I received critique and feedback from 2 people. One's an editor at a small press, and the other one, I don't know if she's just a writer. I can't remember. I received feedback from these 2 people while I was waiting to hear back from that agent, both with a lot of things to say. I knew the project had a couple of issues with the timeline. To make this easier to understand, I'll explain it a little bit. Project Camp starts when my main characters are 12, and it spans until they're in their early 20s. It's about a decade. And for that reason, it's really hard to find a place for it in the market, because the majority of it takes place when they're 16. But putting it into YA when the first chapter's middle grade and the last handful of chapters, they're full-grown adults, and there's a wedding and like all these things that are very not YA. So one of my critiques was to rewrite it as an adult novel. And that's just not who this story's for. So that's not something I'm willing to do. There was also critiques about it taking too long, there being too big, the gaps being too big between the different pieces of the timeline. It was mostly timeline issues that everyone was seeing, which I knew already was going to be the problem. But I was hopeful that it was something that an agent could look past and help me work on. And that's obviously not the case. I received my rejection from that agent on August 25th. And I'd only been querying for 4.5 months. But after receiving her rejection and having the feedback from those 2 people, one of them being an editor, I decided to shelve Project Camp. I still have some queries out in the world. I think I have 7 left that I haven't heard back from. And, you know, maybe there's a miracle coming from one of them. But at this point, Project Camp has been shelved. There are a lot of things that I could change and probably make it more marketable. But I wrote the story exactly the way I wanted the story to be told. And it doesn't feel right to change those things. Even if I knew it could get me to publication, it wouldn't be the story that I want it to be. So I've decided, I mean, the story already was about a part of my life that I keep close to the chest anyway, and not many people know about. And I feel like maybe it's better, maybe this is meant to be. Maybe it's better to have it stay that way. And writing the book was extremely cathartic for me. It really changed things for me in my, it changed things for me. And it was exactly what I needed to do to get me through those early months after my mom died. She died August 23rd, 2020. So it had already been a really crap couple of months from the start of the pandemic. And then she passed away, and I jumped right into back to school season and all of that, which was homeschooling. My kids did not go to school in 2020. And I did that for a number of weeks, and then I hit October and I started seeing all the Preptober content come up on YouTube, and I was like, yeah, that's what I need to do. So I Preptobered, and then I nanoed, and then I did another challenge in December. I don't remember what it was called. But that really kept me afloat for the rest of the year. My writing was where I found my solace. So Project Camp is what Project Camp is, and it's gonna stay that way, at least for now. Maybe 10 years from now, I'll reread it and decide that it's time, and maybe that won't ever happen. I don't know. So that's where I'm at. I am, now that I have put Project Camp away, I'm now starting to think about my new project, which, if you'll recall, I started brainstorming in the spring. I have my idea, I have a lot of character notes and that sort of thing. So I really just need to do my plotting, and I'll be ready for NaNoWriMo this year. So that's the plan. Until Preptober, I am focusing on my birthwork schooling, hoping that I could finish both my courses by then. Would be amazing. And then I can dive into NaNoWriMo. And then in January, I'm hoping to start taking clients. So that's the plan. That's my summer life update, my reading update, my writing update, all the things. Yeah, it's been kind of rough the last week. I know I'm making the right decision, but shelving something that you've worked on for almost 2 years is hard. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I would love to hear your experiences down below with querying and shelving, and just even what you did this summer. I'm looking forward to a really great reading month in September. I have, ooh, I can actually unbox this. I had it sitting here, I didn't even think about it. I think it's 2 graphic novels from Indigo. I've really gotten into graphic novels, as you can tell. Yeah. All right, so I got The Girl from the Sea by Molly Knox Ostertag. This is, I believe it's queer, yeah. Look at that back cover. Molly is the writer of the Witch Boy series, which I didn't pick up because although I am a witch and identify as such, I think it felt really young to me. So I was thinking about picking it up instead for my eldest son, who's 11 and also identifies as a witch, and see if he maybe wants to read it with me, do like a buddy read or something like that. So yeah, so I got this for me. And then to get us into spooky season, I finally picked up Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell and Faith Erin Hicks. So I know nothing about this except that it's about like a fall farm pumpkin something or another, and feels perfect for like end of September, early October. So I've got that. I've got this. I have one more graphic novel coming tomorrow, which is called The Witching Hours by Hannah Myers. And it's supposed to be a graphic novel of all witchy stories, which sounds freaking amazing. So that'll be the one I read after Pumpkinheads. I also have the new Anne adaptation graphic novel by Kathleen Gross coming. That's not coming till the end of October. And then also in October, I'll have The Glass Witch by Lindsay Puckett coming. I think that's like the second week of October. So I have some amazing books to read and I'm so excited. I'm probably gonna sit and read this today. I don't have a whole lot to do today, and it's rainy outside, so it's perfect reading weather. And I already went to the doctor this morning and had an x-ray, so I'm feeling like I just want to lay down and chill. So I think that's what's happening. Thanks for joining me on this ridiculously long video. I will catch you in the next one. Bye, friends.